I'm realizing lately that I should probably talk about Norwegian efficiency because as much as we might all complain about bureaucracies everywhere, and sometimes Norwegian bureaucracy can be slow, at the same time, there are simple things they've done here to streamline processes that make it so much easier for a user. And I've realized, and so has my husband, that we've become spoiled by them. So for instance, I was at the DMV, or Statens in America, we would call it the DMV, the other day, and I needed to get something done. And there was this question I had about my license in America, because I think the one they had on file that I had given to the Norwegian government showed an expiration date, but I had since updated or renewed my license in America. And I was like thinking about pointing that out. Maybe it would make the situation a little bit easier, go faster. And I almost blurted out to them, like, can't you just look it up in the system, like my new expiration date on my license? And it hit me then. Of course, they don't have access to American documentation digital systems. But what I really realized in that moment is how used to I have become with this idea that all your information is just accessible to the people who need it in Norway. Not in an insecure way, at least not to me. But I think what I would say is that everything is pre-done. It's done in advance here. So it took me months, like 6 months, to get what's called a bank ID, which is essentially two-factor authentication that works for everything. But it took forever because you have to really, 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 really prove who you are, and then you never have to do it again. So it was really annoying to me at the time because you can do almost nothing without bank ID. But in America, I don't think you guys have any reason to know this, but in America, none of that is done in advance. And so every time you need something from the government, a new bank account, anything from the DMV, you have to gather all that physically and take it in a little folder and give it to them. Nothing can just be looked up easily. And I have just gotten so used to my life being so convenient because I just know that I can ask the person to look it up. It's like handled for me in most cases. And I hadn't realized it until I wanted them to look up my license in America. And I was like, oh, of course you wouldn't have access to that in America. And also America doesn't have documentation of that. Yeah.